It's 2026, and I'm a music artist. And I find it really difficult to see the world with hope and faith in a future that is better for our species. I'm a very optimistic person. I think most people would agree on that, most people who know me. But I spend a lot of time thinking about where we are as a society. I mean, how people spend their time. If you're watching this, you probably have a job, unlike me, and you probably spend a lot of that job sitting like this in front of a computer, typing on it, staring at a screen all day. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad about what you do. I think about that, and it makes me feel like there's something systematically wrong with what everyone does with their time. I mean, think about free time too. I'm not trying to make this just a whole screen rant, but people spend their free time just staring and scrolling and consuming so much slop. I mean, that's what I call it now. I have no appetite for it anymore. I don't know if I'm alone in that. I'm part of this community now, I guess, of like offliners or whatever. I don't use social media. I mean, I post for my music here and there, but I'm not in the content game or anything. But I just have a hard time seeing a future where everyone's time is valued and everyone's actually doing something more meaningful with their existence. I mean, I know it's like that's very utopia thinking. I don't know if life has ever yielded a reality where everyone's doing something meaningful, but I do think, back in, I don't know, the Middle Ages when everyone was farming and using their hands and their mind as well to work, I think there was something valuable there. I'm not saying we need to go backwards. I just do find it hard to believe that a career, there's so many careers out there where people just sit in front of this thing I'm talking to right now and type and scroll and swipe and do all this shit, just sit in one little place in a cubicle and make a ton of money doing it. I mean, I know a lot of my friends are. But yeah, I don't know, I just feel like that's not the way the world's supposed to work, and I think we're in a very small blip of time where that's reality, and I think something's really about to change. And I guess that's the point I'm trying to get to here, is that there's some change coming. There's something I think that none of us have really predicted, something maybe similar to what COVID brought to the world, where it's like everyone had to change together. I think there might be something like that coming. I don't think it's going to necessarily be bad. I just think everyone's going to have to adapt together at once. And yeah, I think it's very hard to predict what that'll look like, but I just can't help but feel that way after spending enough time with AI and myself, seeing how it's changing everyone's workflow, seeing how it's, in a lot of ways, just making us dumber. And I don't think people realize it. Obviously, it equips us with really great tools and allows us to think more managerially, you could say. But I just can't help but feel like it's just making everyone stupider. But yeah, like I said, this isn't a rant about screens or AI or anything. It's more, I guess, a talk of me admitting some hopelessness that I feel as a 22-year-old in this time. I have a mission, and that is to impact a very, very large number of people through my art, through my work. I could say this straight face to you here, person behind my screen. And I just have this mission that I need to see through, that, I need to be able to touch people through my art and make them feel something deeply, make them feel specifically like they're not alone, like there's a voice to guide them. And I want to be a role model for the next generation of creatives. And I know it's ambitious to say, but I'm saying it right now as context for, I have this deep, deep desire, and this is my mission, and this is my path. And yet, despite, I don't doubt my ability to get there and do that. I don't know when it'll be. I don't know through exactly what medium. Music's my medium at the moment. It could be through something else. I'm open to that idea. But there is a part of me that just is very deep down hopeless for where our world is going. And if you're watching this, one of the few people who watch these videos, and you see my face, you hear me saying this, I just want you to, I hope that if you feel the same thing, that you can find some kind of comfort in knowing that you're not alone. And I think that's important because we're going to have to work together. The people who feel this way are going to have to work together to come up with a solution or an alternative to where the world is going right now. And I wrote a piece on this on Substack, I think the beginning of the year, that I call the Renaissance Rising. And I do think there is a renaissance coming. I think that art is going to see a massive shift in its role in society and how important it is. And art is always important, but I think right now art is kind of just like a little source of entertainment for a lot of people, and it's kind of become very commodified. I think power is going to go back in the hands of the artist. And I think we're going to see a big focus and shift on live craft in every sense, live instrumentation and music, live theater and acting. I think live art is going to go a long way. And in general, I think anything that has to do with in-person, real, screens away, face-to-face, experiencing it firsthand, that kind of art is going to really thrive and change people and affect people, because I don't think you can replicate that on a screen yet. So I do think it's going to be our job to, people who share the sentiment that I have, to work together to build something real, to create art that actually moves people, and maybe art that's impermanent. I could see that. I mean, even this video is going into the YouTube void here and being immortalized, but maybe the next thing is, albums that don't come out on Spotify because you can only hear them live, or movies that you can see once on a, whatever they call it, 35 millimeter, I forget what it is, projector, and you see it in the live theater, and it only comes out in theaters. And I mean, there's beauty to this impermanence. There's something to be said and something special about the exclusivity of an experience, of you having to be there. Makes me think like maybe it'd be cool if we get together artists and people come to a live show and we make songs live with the audience that are made then and there and aren't recorded. There's no phones allowed, and you experience it and it's done. I think like things like this that are engaging with people, give people the chance to learn, chance to act, chance to create themselves. I think this is going to be a key piece of this renaissance I'm talking about. But to cap this off, I'm not hopeless. I don't want to come across that way. I don't want to project that energy at all. I'm just trying to express that there is a little bit of that kind of hopeless feeling that creeps in when I think about the state of the world and where we are, and I do think it's time that we change something. I do think that we need a change. And I know everyone says that. It's like, yeah, we always need a change. But I do think that it's going to come from people who share this feeling, working together to build this renaissance, to build the next art that innovates and the next business ideas that innovate and the things that allow society to really move forward, because I don't think technology is actually doing that right now. And I just think we need to switch things up. So, but I'm hopeful. And after all this, I am hopeful, and I do believe in humanity. I do believe that we can do this. I wouldn't be making this video, sitting here talking to my screen like a crazy person if I didn't. So, yeah, I go by Jake Forsaken. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. My music's everywhere. Just dropped an album called Chrysalis Veil. It's beautiful. But, yeah, thank you. Go change the world.